But for me, it's such a interesting choice for you because I'm one of the people who was very grateful for the comments you made at a rally honoring George Floyd in London in 2020. That clip went famously viral.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just such an act of compassion on behalf of an artist and outrage. I think celebrity might be the silliest thing humans have ever invented.
I know, man. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Double-edged sword, I'd say.
Right, but when someone takes that
Yes.
and uses it for something greater than all of us, for something that helps the marginalized, that helps people like George Floyd, who don't get movies made about him normally.
Yes.
That seemed like it was very extemporaneous, that speech you gave. I got that you went there, but did you have in mind that you were going to speak into a megaphone to the crowd that day?
No. So we had all through the solid 2 weeks leading up to that date, we had seen so many black bodies being harmed consistently. And it was very frustrating to the point where we had cases in the UK. We had Belly Majinga, who passed away.
That's right.
Abril Abdi, who passed away due to racist bullying. There was a lot of things going on, and it all reached a crescendo. And I'm sure you felt this. Everyone felt helpless at the time. It's like, what could we honestly do? But as these protests start to build up in the United States, there was, there's a through line. I'm from the diaspora, especially being a black man from the diaspora. A lot of American friends, people from here. So that connection started to happen. And this charity, Justice for Black Lives, basically brought everyone together in Hyde Park and said, come out and support. And by the way, I wasn't the only one going down there. Everyone was going. Lewis Hamilton texted me, was like, yeah, I'm on my way. Everybody was going down, and everyone felt some type of way to show solidarity. And the speech only happened because we were waiting for Belly Majinga's family to come down and represent her and give a speech, and then a few other people were going.
They asked you to fill?
Yeah, they just asked me to fill in. Yeah, she was stuck in traffic. People had been, the way they organized it was amazing. They had consistent groups going throughout all the major bridges in London. So when those groups would leave to leave Hyde Park to go into central London, there was still a waiting period for new people who came, because new people come, you have to discuss why we're doing it, give them the motivation, have them speak, and then they go out and march. And in that continuous flow, we were just waiting. I was just there with my sister. We took an Uber down, got to Hyde Park. We had been protesting for 3 hours, and the girl with the megaphone was just like, "Can you just say a few words?" And yeah, I don't know what came over me, man. I had to say what was on my mind, and it was the essence of, yes, it is heartbreaking. It doesn't feel right to have this done to you, but I like the fact that in that opportunity, I also spoke about the responsibility we have as men,
exactly,
and that responsibility that is dwindling. People can say, it starts at home, it starts in the home, and for me, the head of the household, who has most likely has the ability and the power to make changes for those who are in the household. It's been kind of lost in the messaging somewhere.
Well, we don't have men. That. We don't have men in this country. We have boys, guys, homies, players, and dudes.
I ain't never heard that, right? But I hear it.
Actually, men.
And the definition of that being us to be able to discuss that and to be able to learn from older men, people who have,
but in terms of righteousness, and morality, not just ability to beat the shit out of somebody.
But also the ability to get to a point in your life where you're kind of like, what this power, this privilege as men, we know what the privilege is, man. Go out in the midnight, you can walk 3 hours down the street, you ain't feeling no type of way. A woman goes and does a whole different experience for her. A woman comes up and chats to you in a bar, you're in heaven. It happens to a woman, it can be a whole different experience. So, the privilege to a certain extent comes with a responsibility to me, and specifically to black men. I just don't think the conversation is healthy if we aren't looking at what's against us, but looking at what we are doing to ourselves. And I think it's a very, very important message.
But that's part of institutionalized racism, don't you think? I mean, when you say what we are doing to ourselves, the power structure,
yes,
the dead white men that lived a long time ago that set this up,
yes,
they're the ones that instilled that generational depression, that institutionalized low self-esteem.
It can be hard for people to navigate that, especially when you don't know that's happening and you don't know you're influenced by those things. So that's why I just think it's important,